I'm your skipper for today, and what I'm going to do is give you the safety briefing about this vessel and make sure that everything is right for you. But the first thing I want to say is that the reason we're going to sea is for your fun. And we're also going to have fun ourselves, actually, because it's the Classics rally and regatta and all that sort of thing. So this is a first for us, and we're rather looking forward to it. So having said that this is for your fun, what I really mean is that you have to identify everything that you want to do that we haven't put in the way of you. So definitely you've all got to have a steer. Everybody's got to have a steer. Definitely you've got to pull on ropes if you want to pull on ropes. And the most likely time will be in the first 10 minutes once we're out of the harbour, because that's when all the sails go up. And the youngsters are very much encouraged to join in with the ropes as well. And we'll all make sure that there's one of the crew there helping with the ropes. But I want you to be in charge of putting the bowsprit out. Okay? And Peter, who is the guy with his back to us up there, not with the red shorts but with the green shorts, he'll be there making sure you do it safely. Okay? So you're going to be in charge of the bowsprit, so fairly early on you need to go and talk to him and say, how do I put the bowsprit out? Okay? Lovely. So every aspect of this is so that you can get the most out of it. And sometimes I might forget that someone hasn't had a steer or hasn't whatever, and it'll be your fault if you don't have fun. We're going to sail at 11:15, and we'll be back in something after 4:30, I think. And it's a bit difficult to work out. There's a parade of sail at 1300. Then there's a race starting at 13:45, and we will be sailing alongside the vessels doing the racing. So we're not actually racing because we're not insured to race, but we will go alongside them and be part of what's going on. And then we'll get back in when we can. The reason we're sailing at 11:15 is because it's still just after low water, and there's plenty of water in here. There's not a lot out in the south. So that's that. Okay, onto the safety stuff. Probably the most likely issue that will cause you a problem is hitting your head. And I hit my head on more things than most people. So these are an issue. But the most important thing is stuff on the deck. And bits of rope, standing on bits of rope is not generally wise. Standing inside a coil like that, if that rope went tight, it would get me. And sometimes they go tight very quickly. So you always check and you stand in the place that is unlikely to go tight. That rope is perfectly all right to stand on because where you're sitting it's turned up. But generally always be aware of ropes on the deck. And this wire is permanently fitted, and forever I'm tripping over it, but we don't want to trip. Heads, this is not a problem to most people apart from me, and I put my head there more times than soft Mick. Everything changes when you look at this big guy here. This block is exactly the height to take my head off. And I often stand just here saying, well, how are we doing then? And I forget. And if I forget, well, then you'll forget. So that block, standing here, is perfectly okay. But the natural place seems to be to want to stand just here. You know, I've not actually been hit by this. The boom is generally high enough to miss you. When we're working the sails, you will naturally see that there are areas where there's a lot going on, and you either are part of it by working the ropes, or you're a bit out of it so that you don't get hurt by anything. Up forward, there's a white bar called a horse across the deck, and there's a note on it saying don't go forward of here or wear a harness or something. But please don't go forward of the white bar unless you're with a member of crew who's asking you to do something with a rope. But the white bar is a good thing. Where don't you go in this boat? That's it. Don't go in front of the white bar. Good boy. The next thing is leaning against the side. Madam, I've forgotten your name.
Helen.
Helen is perfectly okay leaning there. It's a metal bar. We've designed it so you can lean against it. You're perfectly all right sitting there, but anywhere forward of this metal bar, please don't sit on the edge of the boat, because it's very easy to slip. You know, it's not just a bit of health and safety, it's actually very easy. And the most delightful place to sit is right up in the bow where it curves round and it feels great, the water's going by, topple over, straight through the propeller, come out in 5 pieces back there. And it's not nice. So don't sit all lean. And at the moment there's no ropes or anything there. You see that spar and then that bit of rope, that will be the same on the other side. But please don't lean on them. They're there to catch you if you fall. They're not there to be permanently leant against. Who took my life jacket? I had a life jacket here just to show you how I'll be back. Never worn a life jacket. Oh, lovely. Would you care to put it on for us? Now, life jackets. If you don't have to wear life jackets whilst we're underway. You can do. If anybody would like to wear a life jacket, then please do. If there's anything like any weather, I shall put my life jacket on, because it's good leadership and then nobody else is embarrassed about putting them on. This is called a jacket because it's like a jacket. So if you imagine this as a waistcoat, your arm goes in one side and your other arm goes in the other side, and there it is. Clipping up. No, don't pull that. That T-bar goes through there, and you have to help it through, like that. And now it's perfect. The low-numbered life jackets, 1, 2, 3, are probably made small. The large ones, the high numbers, are set large. So I'd go for 22 myself. If you need to adjust your life jacket, there's a shortener here. It goes around there, so you actually have to take it off. You can see it'll never come off in the water. Take it off and you just move this bit of cloth. Excuse me. You pull the bit of cloth round and that lengthens the jacket, and that's a slightly more comfortable fit for you. The final part of life jackets is that, and I'm going to just change subject slightly, we parents who take our kids to sea wearing inflation jackets that are adult jackets, we actually commit them to dying. Because a life jacket that's not adjusted correctly flows up like that, and those big buoyant things, they end up here. The water level's there, and here's your child nicely suspended underwater. Perfect, except it's not. So what you must do is, if you have to use an adult life jacket on a kid, tie some rope around their armpits to hold it down, or better still, a device like this which clips in and holds it down. So something to hold life jackets down. And I always talk about kids because I've seen so many, if they jump in a swimming pool, they end up with the life jacket up there and their head's down here, and they're like that. And you know, there's no way that a kid can solve that problem. Happy?
Yeah.
Any questions about life jackets? Good. So we won't need them. If you want to wear them, you can do. Would anyone like to wear them? No? But please don't hesitate, and I always put mine on if we're going any distance or going out, and that's not a great message, but it does mean other people feel confident to do it. Okay, you can take that off, thank you very much. Oh, I didn't say all the normal airline stuff. You can pull the little red toggle and that inflates it. If you fall in the water, it sets itself off. If everything fails, inside it there's still a little blow thing. There's also a whistle, there's also a light, but let's hope. You stay together if you have to leave this ship, but why would you have to leave a wooden ship? Because a wooden ship, even when sinking, will still float. And this big thing, the lifeboat will find much more easily than you. So stay with the ship, don't jump over the side. If the crew start getting things in the water, you'll know it's time to start thinking about getting out of there. But I don't mean abandon me because I've already gone. But rather obviously, a wooden ship is the place to stay. And if this boat is not below the waterline, then stay with her. We have 3 life rafts. There's one. There are 2 forward of the doghouse there, and those self-deploy if we did sink. They would come out and they would burst out and become life rafts, or we can lift them out, throw them in the water, and you pull a piece of rope, and that makes them float. If we did have to get into life rafts, then the best way to do it is to pull the life raft back to the ship, and then step in to the opening. Don't jump into the sea and then try and climb up the little rope ladder in the life raft, which I've had to do, and it's really hard, especially when you're wet and you've got boots on and full foul weather gear. So you just step into it, and you know it's not going to be rough today. So that's got that out of the way, but of course I hope it'll be in there if we happen to need it. We've got fire extinguishers down below. The crew will deal with any fire, but the only place we could get a fire would either be the galley, where we're going to have a cup of tea at lunchtime, so maybe we'll have a fire, but we won't. And there's an engine room down here, but we've got automatic firefighting systems for that. But there are fire extinguishers all the way through. So that completes the safety aspects of the brief. I haven't mentioned the heads, the toilets down below, and the port side down forward of the saloon. It has got an electric head. You do whatever you do, you put the lid down because it's a vacuum thing, press a button, and it empties itself. On the starboard side, in the Laura Ashley suite, I'll say that again, the Laura Ashley suite, there's a toilet in there just like any yacht. It's a normal sit-down affair, it's got a pumping handle, and there's a little lever. Upwards pumps stuff out, forwards pump stuff out, and water in. And so I always run it with the lever forward, near to you, and you just pump like mad. And you do have to pump like mad to get the water in over the top. And then it'd be nice to pump it about 15 times. People get worn out after that. But that's the heads. If we feel seasick, then the secret is to do some hard work. And maybe get on the wheel if you feel a little bit queasy. If you don't feel like doing that, then definitely stay on the upper deck and look at the horizon. Then the ship rotates around your eyes, and the eyes stay still, and everything feels better. So flat horizon is the solution to seasickness, and maybe dry biscuits and that sort of thing. But I hope today won't be one of those types of days, so that'll be a good. You're completely free to go down below and have a look round and lie on a bunk or something if you want to, and we'll find a time for lunch. You've all brought food, lovely, and I should just have it whenever you want, because I don't think we'll be having a formal dining session. So, does anybody have any questions?
Can I just have your name for the video again, please?
I'm John Welsh. I'm the captain for today.
Thank you very much.
Any deep and technical questions? Colin Brokenshire, who is likely to sit himself just there. Colin, who is... Oh, he's sitting down with the long red trousers. He knows everything about everything. So if you've got any questions that I can't answer, then ask Colin. And if you've got any difficult ones, ask Colin straight away. Yeah. Right, mic it off. Go ahead, go. There you go. Yes, you guys can go forward and we'll take the head off.
I'm just about to take the head rope off.
That's the head rope, John.
Thank you. Stay contact. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let go, breaststroke. Confirm all lines gone. Fast as you can, please, and pull the bow out that way. Right, where's the big heaving, pressing rod? You know, what do you call it? Boat hook. No, we'll get someone else. Neil, boat hook that side, please. Boat hook that side.
The big one, Neil.
Right. More power stern. And hard up. Stop the engine. Pull out that way, please. That way.
Thanks to everyone on Vigilance for the privilege of going out with them today during the Plymouth Classic Boat Weekend. Also thanks to the Plymouth Classic Boat organisers. To hire Vigilant or go out on Vigilant, you can contact them direct. This has been a Chris Summerfield Media Production 2016. You can contact me through ccs1912@hotmail.com, and also, if you can help me, sponsor me through christophersummerfield@gmail.com. That's on PayPal.